Okay guys, so this is going to be update number 1, finally, on the MTD Fast Tractor, I decided I'm going to call it. You can see I have it torn down. I know I said I was going to do a teardown video of it, but I ran into some issues. I wanted to do a time lapse like of me tearing it down, but it wouldn't work because I use Windows Live Movie Maker, and you know, it sucks, and whenever you try to speed up footage, it won't get the timing right. It'll actually cut off pieces of your video and it'll be all skippy and it just doesn't work. So I didn't use that, and I was thinking about just using little snippets of me tearing down certain things, but I couldn't do that because I had music playing in the background. And some of you know that I set my videos up for monetization, so I can't have any copyrighted material. And one other thing to say is I built a camera stabilizer. You can see it's pretty stable there. Not the best, but you can see it there. I built it out of metal, so I don't really need some sort of weight, so it's heavy enough. So I'll start out with talking about what I'm going to do to this. Now, it's not going to be the fastest thing, but it's going to be fast enough, you know, where I can still keep the transaxle, and not have a straight axle in the back. But I thought of a really unique setup that I've never seen anyone else do before. I thought I would just do something different. And I know I said it in my last video, but I want to get really in depth with it. So the first thing would be to have a clutch, you know, just a regular centrifugal clutch coming off of the engine. And then a chain coming back. It'll be a 1-to-1 ratio between the chain. That'll go to another sprocket, and then there'll be a jack shaft, a vertical jack shaft with 1 pillow block bearing. Now at the top of the pillow block bearing, there'll be a 6-inch pulley. And then that 6-inch pulley, there's going to be a belt coming off of that, going down to a 3-inch pulley in the back. So it would be a 0.5-to-1 ratio. And also in that belt, I'm gonna have a manual clutch, like everybody else has, you know, on the belt. And the reason for that is if I'm driving and I don't rev down the engine as much as I should for the clutch to disengage, so the engine just spins, then the input shaft will still be spinning to the transaxle when I shift, and that's going to wear down the transmission. So I just want to add that in there, plus it'll be more cool. And also have separate brakes too. And then I would keep the original transaxle and lock it and rebuild that and make it all good, just like I did with that transmission. And the transaxle, I'm going to buy or find a different transaxle, like a 5 or 6 speed. And for the frame, I am obviously going to reinforce the crap out of this thing, because these MTD frames, they flex like crazy. I mean, look at that. This is like 16 gauge steel right here. And I know, yeah, you have the transaxle supporting it, but that's really the only thing besides the back guard on here. But the main part of the frame is just about almost 1/8 inch up here, and then it just connects to this crap right here. And then I'm thinking I might want to go to direct steering instead of this crappy MTD steering. Look at that. That's how it was. I did not loosen that at all. And the only support was the plastic console that was holding it up, that also moved. So I'm definitely going to reinforce that, bring it to direct steering. But I might have some problems with that. I don't know how I would do that with the engine being right here in front of it. I'd have to make some sort of weird, really long tie rod that has to try and clear the clutch and everything like that. I'm going to keep all the original body and fenders and everything. That's all going to stay. Like I said before, the V-twin engine is going to be on here. And I'm gonna modify that. The supercharger right there is going to go on there if it works. I actually haven't tested that yet. I already started to clean up and paint the frame. It wasn't bad at all. I mean, this was like a 2001, 2002. That was the guy who had it before me. He really took really good care with it. The engine, the carburetor was cleaned. There was almost brand new oil in it, and it was just, looks like he pressure washed it a lot. He took really good care of it, so it really wasn't that hard to clean up. I just had to, there were just some bare parts that didn't have any paint on them, so I just had to paint them. And I'm gonna keep these footholds here, and I'm gonna put like a cage, or not a cage. What am I trying? I'm gonna put bars around it up here so my feet don't slide off the edge. Now for tires, I'm gonna have the original tires just because I really like them. Here, they're right here. These are the front ones. They're nice and skinny. They're not like really wide. I want the least amount of friction I can. Rear tires are going to be original too. Something else I want to show you is this sheet that I made, speed calculation sheet. And you take your engine RPM, tire size, and your gear ratio. And you have that in and you calculate, you see all the lines and everything. And you can find the speed of what you're trying to build. So first you find your wheel circumference, and circumference is the wheel diameter times 3.14 pi. And you do that and you get it. And then you want to find circumference in feet, and you do circumference in inches divided by 12. That'll give you that. And now you find wheel RPM, which is your engine RPM divided by your gear ratio. You do that, you get it. Then you need to find feet per minute equals wheel circumference in feet times your wheel RPM. Then you need to find feet per hour, which is your feet per minute times 60. Then finally, to find miles per hour, take your feet per hour and you divide that by 5,280, which is obviously how many feet are in a mile. Then you get your miles per hour. So that's it, guys. I know we didn't actually build or do anything, but just went over what we have to do and things that I want to do. It's not that exciting, but it's the first update. I guess it kind of was an update because I tore it down, so we'll see you next time on the next update, hopefully.